So the state of Florida really needs to put forth a good theory as to why the rapper would do so if they're going to get a guilty verdict.
All right, let's shift gears again a little bit, because rapper YNW Melly appeared in a Florida court for the first day of his trial for the alleged murder of his two friends. He pleaded not guilty back in 2019, but this is just getting underway. He may face the death penalty if he is found guilty of first-degree murder. So in the opening arguments, his lawyer, David Howard, said that the prosecution's investigation has been incompetent and incomplete, and that his client had no reason to kill his friends. So prosecutors presented the case they put forward upon the initial charges in 2019 that he shot and killed two of his friends in South Florida, and then they staged the crime scene to look like a drive-by shooting. They stated that they have surveillance video of him and another person, as well as the two victims in a car, and that there was a lot of evidence, bullet casing in the car, to indicate that the four men were together that night. So how does the defense approach a case like this when there is a lot of evidence, but they are still maintaining their innocence?
Yeah, this is a tough case and a potential death penalty case. So obviously, it seems, at least according to the surveillance, that YNW Melly was at the scene of the crime, right? So, what the defense is trying to do is go on the offense and attack the law enforcement investigation in this case, say that it was sloppy, say that it was a rush to judgment. This is something that good defense lawyers typically do, so I'm not surprised to see it in a case like this.
Yeah, do you think that that's probably the best and maybe only strategy they have going into this, since, like we said, that there's a lot of evidence showing him at the scene?
I think so. I mean, obviously, in a case like this, the defense is saying, look, these were all friends. Like, why would you kill your friends? The prosecution is saying, well, this was about money. So motive isn't an element that the prosecution has to prove, but jurors are always going to ask themselves, why would someone kill two other people? So the state of Florida really needs to put forth a good theory as to why the rapper would do so if they're going to get a guilty verdict.
Right. Do you think that if he is convicted, have a guilty, that he will face the death penalty?
I think so. And this is a fascinating case from a legal reason for this reason. So after Nicholas Cruz, the Parkland school shooter, was not sentenced to death because there were a couple jurors that didn't support the death penalty in that case, Governor DeSantis and the Florida legislature, they changed the law to not require a unanimous verdict for someone to be put to death. So Florida's new law only requires 8 out of 12 jurors to return a death sentence. This is actually the first case that's applying that new law. So it's going to be interesting because if he's sentenced to death, there are mandatory state and federal appeals, and I can see the Supreme Court hearing this case and saying, hey, this may or may not be constitutional to change the law to require less than a unanimous verdict for a death penalty case.
For more news content and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.